Good morning to all of you. Today I am recording the lesson for the day 37, and here we are going to discuss about the SF and BM diagrams for the simply supported beams with UDL. I am sharing the PPT for the today's class. The topic is simply supported beam with UDL. So for this, first of all, we have to derive the equation, then we can solve the problems also. So in the last class, we have been discussing about the shear force and bending moment diagrams of the simply supported beams with point loads. Now we'll discuss about the SF and VM diagrams of simply supported beam with uniformly distributed load, that is UDL. Now, so this is the simply supported beam of length L and carries a UDL of W newtons per meter length, and now this SS beam is supported at the two ends, that is at point A and point B. Now this is AB is the SS beam. Here, in case of the SS beams, the first step is to find out the support reactions at the ends. Now that is at the ends A and B, that is the support reaction at A or A, and the support reaction at B or B. So if we compare this one with that of the SS beam carrying a point load at the midpoint, in that case also what happened, the RA and RB, in that case the total load is shared by the two supports. In the previous case of the SS beam carrying a central point load of W, RA is equal to W by 2 and RB is equal also W by 2, because the total load acting on the beam is shared by the two supports equally, because it has been loaded symmetrically with the point load. Now, in the present case, it is also similar to that of the case of the point load, but only the difference is here the beam is loaded with UDL, but however it is also the total load, the total UDL is acting throughout the length, that is the UDL is acting throughout the length, the whole length of the beam. So we can say, we can consider this is a example for the symmetrical loading having a intensity of W Newton per meter length, or a length of L. Therefore, here also, what is the total load acting on the beam? The total load is equal to, in this case, W into L, where W is the intensity of UDL in Newton per meter length, and L is the length of the beam. So the total load acting on the beam is equal to W into L. Now, because it is also loaded symmetrically, the two supports will bear the load equally, or the two supports will share the load equally because of the symmetrical loading. So therefore, the total load is WL. So that is equally shared with the two support means. So at each support, the load is equal to W by 2 and WL by 2. So therefore, the load shared with each support is equal to W into L by 2. And that means the support reaction at A and the support reaction at B, that is RA is equal to RB is equal to W into L by 2. So simply we can write down the support reaction values, that is RA and RB. So both are equal to W into L by 2 because it is symmetrical loading. If it is non-symmetrical, then we have to find out. But in this case, we can simply find by seeing the loading diagram, and the RA and RB is equal to WL by 2. Now after finding out the support reactions, then the next step is to draw the shear force diagram and also bending moment diagram. So generally for the case of the simply supported beam, the SF diagram will be having the both the things, that is the positive value and negative value, and whereas the bending moment will have only the positive value. Therefore, so we should take a 0-point expansion. So first of all, we have to project the vertical lines from the silent points. Here we got the 3 points. So one is the left head, second is the right end, that is point A, point B, and third one is the midpoint of the beam, that is the point C. It is distance of elevator from both ends. Now these are the 3 vertical lines. Now we have taken this is the 0 line for the SF diagram, and this is the 0 line for the bending moment diagram. Now coming to the calculations. So the SF calculations. So SF at point A. So SF at point A means, so starting from the this point. So SF at point A is going to, if you see, just to take the section here. If you take the section here, the force acting to the left of the section. So I'm considering either I can take the right or to the left, but it is convenient for me to consider the left of the section. That's why I'm taking the I'm considering the left of the section. Now if you draw a vertical line, that is section at this point. Now to the left of the section, and that is just at a point A. If you draw a section to the left, a force of WL by 2 is acting upwards. So when a force of WL by 2 acting upwards to the left of the section is nothing but a force acting downwards to the right of the section. So that is also positive. So therefore, this is the shear force at point A is equal to plus WL by 2. So the SF at A is equal to plus WL by 2. Now coming to the next one is, that is the other point is point C. Now coming to the point C. So here what is happening is, if you take a section exactly at point C, now either we can take either to the left or to the right, but I am taking the to the left. If I take the to the left, so what is the value? So this WL by 2 is support will act like a point load upwards. This is positive, and whereas this is half of this UDL, the UDL at a length of, what is the distance of the point C between from the point A, because the distance between the point A and point Z is nothing but the half of the length of the beam, that is L by 2. So L by 2 into W. So W into L by 2. But however, it is acting downwards to the left. So generally, if the force acts downwards to the right, it is taken to be positive. Whereas here, if the force acts downwards to the left, then we can take it as a what? Negative. So here, this is positive. So the bending, that is the shear force at point C is equal to, the first force is the W, the point load, that is the support reaction, WL by 2 acting upwards to the left of the section. So positive, that is plus W by 2. Next, the other force is WL by 2, but it is acting downwards to the left of the section. So minus. So WL by 2 minus WL by 2. So that is equal to 0. So the shear force at point C is equal to 0. Now coming to the point RP. Now here also for the RB, now to consider the, now here it is convenient to find out by taking the right of the section. So I am taking the section here, that is to the here, that is just ahead of the point B at this point. And if you see, take the rightward force, so rightward only one force is acting, that is W by L by 2, and acting upwards. So the force acting upwards to the right of the section is taken to be negative. So the shear force acting at point B is equal to minus WL by 2. So the shear force acting at B is equal to minus WL by 2. Now the, if you wanted to find the shear force at XX, that is a separate X is equal to, so here we got WL by 2 is the minus WL by 2 is the support reaction at B plus W into X. If we take the, we consider the right of the section. So this, if we take common W, then X minus W into X minus L by 2. So this is the common equation for the shear force. Now we got all the values of the shear forces at the salient points along the beam. Now we can, first step is to mark the points. So ATA, the value is equal to plus WL by 2. So you have to take some suitable scale and mark for this. Now the shear force at point C is equal to 0. Now the shear force at B is equal to minus WL by 2. This is the point. Now we have to join all the 3 points. How to join, that is very important, because the UDL is acting on the beam throughout the length, that is between the points A and C, and also between the points B and C. Therefore, here we have to join all the points with a inclined line. So this is the point and this is the point. So you have to join, this is the line. And similarly here, this is the point and this is the point. So you have to join with a inclined line. Now this is the what the shear force diagram. So this is a positive, here we got a positive side and here we got a negative side. So this is called the positive shear force diagram and this is the negative shear force diagram. And here this is the point, so where the shear force is 0 or shear force is changing its sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. So this point is called as the point of contraflexure, and generally at that point the bending moment will be maximum, that will say. So this is one of the important note is that wherever the shear force changes sign or it is equal to 0, there the at that point the bending moment will be maximum. Next, coming to the bending moment calculations. So as we know that for the simply supported beam, the bending moments at point A and at point B, that is at the points of supports, it is equal to 0. Therefore, the BM at A is equal to 0 and also the BM at B, that is the point B, also equal to 0. Now, only thing is we have to calculate the bending moment at some xx. So this is the first equation. So because at xx we have to find out. So at xx, what is the bending moment, that we have to find out to get the common equation. Now at this point, if we take, I'm considering the right of the section. So that's why the x is the distance from the right support. So now I'm considering the right of the section. So what is the force acting? So this is the one force, and this is the other force. First, so the moment of this WL by 2 about xx is equal to WL by 2 into x, and it is causing a anti-clockwise movement about xx. So it is positive. So plus W into x into L by 2. Next, so this UDL is the force. What is the UDL? UDL is equal to W into x. The force is equal to W into x, and it is generally acting at a distance of mid of the span, that is x by 2 from this xx. So the moment will become the W into x by 2. So nothing but the W into x square by 2. But it is producing a which type of momentum? Like this. If you try to do it like in this direction, so this is a clockwise direction. So this is clockwise direction will be to the right of the section will be the not a negative. So previously WL by 2 into x is the positive. So the bending moment, that x is equal to WL by 2 into x is the positive, and W into x is the force, and x by 2 is the distance. So WLx by 2 minus Wx square by 2. If we take the common as W into x, then this is equal to L minus x by 2. So W by 2 into L minus x. So this is the general equation at a distance of x from the right support. Now coming to the bending moment at point C. Now at point C, we have to find out. So exactly, so you take the section at the point C exactly at this point. That is exactly at the midpoint. Now you can take, so it is because this what is called this simply sort of beam is symmetrical loaded. So at both sides equal forces are acting. So we have to consider either to the left or to the right. So now wherever it is possible, you have to consider it from the consider to the right of the section. Now considering the forces acting towards the right of the section. So to the right of the section. Now what are the forces? The first force is a WL by 2, and it is acting at a distance of L by 2 because the total distance is L and the half of the distance is L by 2. So WL by 2 into L by 2. So it is causing a anti-clockwise movement. So this is positive. So plus W by L by 2 into L by 2. Next, so this is a force. What is the force? UDL is equal to W into x. Here x means the distance. So distance is equal to L by 2. So W into L by 2 is the force, and it will be generally acting at the what distance? Already the distance is L by 2. So in the L by 2, it will act in the mid of the distance. So L by 2 by 2. So that means, so the UDL will act at L by 4 distance. Okay, L by 4 distance from point C. Therefore, the moment is equal to W into L by 2 into L by 4. So this is negative. So here WL by 2 into L by 2 is the anti-clockwise movement by the support reaction acting at the point B, minus W into L by 2 is the, this is a load acting due to UDL into L by 4. So this is WL square by 4, and this is WL square by 8. So WL square by 4 minus WL square by 8 is equal to WL square by 8. So this is the some value. So this is called as a WL square by 8 is the bending moment that is acting at the point C. Even that also we can confirm by this one. So here what is happening? The bending moment at a point x is equal to w into x into L minus x by 2. So this is the equation. So if you see here what is happening? So this is also equal to, so here the same w will be there, and here what is the x distance? The x is nothing but L by 2. So w into, so this is equal to L by 2, L by 2, next L by 2 into, so this is equal to L by 2 into L minus x, that is L minus x is nothing but the L by 2. So if you simplify this equation, here what is happening? W L by 2 into L minus L by 2. This is nothing but the what happens here. So this is good. W L by 2 will be remaining there. So W L by 2 is there, and this L minus L by 2 is nothing but the L by 2. So this is equal to into, this is equal to into L. So by here what is happening? So this is 2 and that is 2. So 2 into 4, that is L minus x. So here also W into L by 2 into L minus. So the same thing. So here also we will be having the same equation, and that it becomes WL square. So by 8 will come. So this is the same. So from both the equations, it will be same. The maximum bending moment occurring acting here is equal to WL square by 8. Now we have to locate the points here. So the bending moment at point A and bending moment at point B is equal to 0. So at the both ends it is equal to 0. And here at this point WL square by 8, and here this is equal to what is happening? So W into x into L minus x by 2. So now, so how to generate, that is very important. So we got a 3 points. This is one point, this is another point, and this is the next point, and this is somewhere some point. Now, so we have got the points, but what is the shape of the curve? Because it is utility acting. So the general equation for W into x into L minus x, that is W into x square term. So W into x square term is a parabolic term. Therefore, so we have to join all the points with a parabola. So this is the shape of the curve, and the area under this curve will represent the bending moment acting on the beam. And when you see here, the shear force is 0 at or the changes the sign at point C, and there the bending moment will be maximum, and a maximum bending moment of W square by 8 is acting, and the maximum shear force of WL by 2 is acting at the supports. So this is about the shear force and bending moment diagram of a simply supported beam with UDL. Now after this, we'll go for a solving a problem. So actually this is equal to, it must be 4. So L minus this is, the distance is equal to W into L by 2 . So like this, x is equal to L by 2 here. Here also W into x means W into L by 2, and here also x is equal to L by 2. So like this we get a W L square by 8. Now this is the problem on the SS beam carrying a UDL. Now take this problem. Draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams of a simply supported beam shown in the below figure. So the figure is given. You have to copy this figure, and coming to the figure, here the simply supported beam supported at the both ends, and the length of the beam is 6 meters, and it is carrying a UDL of intensity 2 kN per meter over a length of 4 meters starting from the left support or the left end, and the remaining 2 meters is free. And this is the figure, and after copying this we will start the solving of this problem. Now, so this is the given SS beam, and it is carrying a UDL of 2 kN per meter over a length of 4 meters, and remaining 2 meters is free, and it is supported at the points A and B. Now this is the loading diagram. Then you have to draw the vertical lines from the ends and also from this point. This is the point C, where that is nothing but the ending point of the UDL from the left support. Now we'll draw a horizontal line. So this is zero line for the SF beam. This is the zero line for the SFD, that is the shear force diagram, and this is the zero line for the bending moment diagram. Now, first of all, here we are supposed to find out the support reaction, that is the RA and RB, because here we cannot directly write down because it is not symmetrically loaded. Therefore, we have to find out the RA value and RB value. So the first step is to find out the support reactions. Now, taking the moments about the point A, that is at point A means RB into the total length 6. That is means taking the moments moment and equation to 0. What is happening? Because the beam is in the equilibrium condition. So for the equilibrium condition, the algebraic sum of the clockwise moments must be equal to the algebraic sum of the anti-clockwise moments. So here the RB will produce the anti-clockwise moment. So this is RB, and if you taking the moments out of point A, so this will produce the anti-clockwise moment. That is like this. So that is RB into 6. Now what is the clockwise? The clockwise moment is equal to here 2 kN 2 into 4, that is the 8 is the load, and it is acting at a distance of 2 meters from this support. So 2 into 4 into 4 by 2. 2 into 4 into 2 into 4 into 4 by 2. So if you take like that, so what is then 2 into 4 into 4 by 2? That is 4 into 2, 8, 4 to 32 by 2, 16. 16 is equal to RB into 6. Now RB is equal to 16 by 6. That is equal to 2.67 kN. Similarly, we know that whenever the beam is in the equilibrium condition, the algebraic sum of the upward forces must be equal to algebraic sum of the downward forces. That is nothing but the RA plus RB is equal to the total load acting on the beam. That is RA and RB will act upwards, whereas the load, the total load will act downwards. This is only the total load. Only we got only UDL, that is 2 into 4, that is 8. And RA plus RB is equal to 4 into 8. And we know that RB is equal to, what is the 2.67? So RA is equal to 8 minus 2.67. So RA is equal to 5.33 kN. So in this way, so RA is equal to 5.33 kN and RB is equal to 2.67 kN. So here, if you see here also, the support reactions are varying. In the previous case, the UDL was acting throughout the length. Therefore, in that case, the supports are equally shared the total UDL. Therefore, the reactions setup, the supports are equal. But in this case, what is happening is only, so a part, the UDL is acting on a part length of the beam. That is, so it is more, it is the UDL is acting more amount of more length through at point A and less length at point B. Therefore, here due to this one, the RA is more than the RB. Therefore, RA is equal to 5.33 kN and RB is equal to 2.67 kN, and total is that RA plus RB is nothing but the total load, that is equal to 8 kN. Now, the next thing is to find out the shear forces acting at the different points. Now coming to the shear force at point B. Now just if you consider the section here, to the right of the section, so this RV is acting upwards. So to the right of the section, the upward force is taken to be negative. So therefore the RB at point B, that is the shear force at point B is equal to RB is equal to minus 2.67. Next, coming to the point C. So this is the point C. Now here what is happening? Because there is no load between the point B and point C. So therefore, up to this point, what is happening is the same, what is called the same shear force will continue. So whatever the shear force is there, that is there. So at point C also, it is equal to 2.67 kN. But exactly at this point, from this point onwards, the shear force will change because a UD is acting. So therefore now that we'll see what will happen. But exactly at point C, the SF is equal to minus 2.67. Now coming to the point A, if we take the right, or what happens to the right of the section? So we got the two forces, this one and this one. So this is a negative one and this is a positive one. So here what happens? So the shear force at point A is equal to minus 2.67 plus, what is this? 8. This is a 4 into 8. So minus 2.67 plus 8. So that will become the 5 plus 5.33 kN. So the RA, that is the shear force acting at point A, is equal to 5.33 kN. So this we have obtained by considering the right of the section. So if you consider the left of the section also, what is happening? If we take the section here, to the left only one force is acting, that is 5.33 kN, that is RA acting upwards at the left of the section. So the upward force acting left of the section is nothing but the downward force acting to the right, that is positive. Therefore, the shear force acting at point A is equal to plus 5.33 kN. So same thing. So here what happened is we got the same value whether we consider the right of the section or to the left of the section. But very important that we have to consider only one side. Either you can take the right of the section, or either you can take the left of the section. So both values will be same. Now we got the values. The RA, that is SF at A, is equal to 5.33 kn. So SF at A is equal to 5.33 kn, and SF at B is equal to 2.67 kn minus, and SF at C also equal to minus 2.61 kn. So now how to change? So we have to look at, so minus means, so take a suitable scale. So this is minus 2.67, and here also minus 2.67. Now the third point is here, it is plus 5.2, so to the upper side of the zero value. So whereas these are the lower side of the zero value. Now we got, so here there is no UDL, so we can gain with a horizontal lines. So this is the, up to here it is horizontal line. But here what is happening at this, from this point the UDL is starting. So under the UDL always it is a inclined line. So this is a minus 2.67, and this is a 5.33. Therefore now you look at these points and gain with inclined line. Now this line will cross the zero line at some point. That may be the point D. So you can project, so that may be the point D here. So now what is happening is, so now we got the points. Now, so this is the shape of the, what is called the shear force diagram. So this is a negative SF, and this is a positive. Now we don't know the distance of this point D from this point A. Okay. Only thing is, so we got the value. Now coming to the bending moment diagram. So to find out the, here one of the important thing is that here we know that wherever the shear force is changing the sign, that here this problem, the shear force is changing the sign at the point D. So at this point also the bending moment will be occurring, and this is the maximum bending moment. So we have to find out this distance. So how to find out? So like this. Now we know that, very simple. The bending moment at the supports, at the end supports, what is that? At A and at B is equal to 0. So we can simply write down. Only thing is we have to write down, find out the bending moment at point C and at this point D. So the bending moment also at point C is equal to, we know that only the right support of 2.7 is acting, 2.61 is acting at a distance of 2 meters. So bending moment at point C is equal to 2.67 into 2, that is 5.34 kN. So that is the positive, because it is causing a anti-clockwise movement to the right of the section. Now let X is the distance from the left support, that is the point D, where the shear force is changing the sign. So this is the point D. Now that we have to find out. To find out that X here from the triangles, here XY 5.33, XY, so this is X. So XY 5.33 is equal to, here 4 minus X by 2.67. So this is the one, because this is a common thing. So X by, this X by 5.33 is equal to, what is the distance? Because this total is 4, this is X. So this is 4 minus X by this value 2.67. So by equating the properties of triangles, from the properties of triangles, so we can solve this X value, and by solving this equation, the X is coming to be 2.61 meters. So that is X is equal to 2.61 meters from the left supports. Now we can take the maximum bending moment. It will occur at this point. So the bending moment at point D is equal to, because that is a distance of 2.67 meters. This is 2.67 meters. So at this point, now we can take either from the, better take from the left side. That is, so this is a point, and you can consider the left of the forces. So we got two forces. So one is the this point load, and this is the UDL acting at a distance of 2.67. So the this point load 5.33 into 2.67. So it is causing an anti-clockwise movement. So positive minus U, we got U load, that means the distance is 2.67 and intensity is 2, and the distance is equal to 2.61 by 2, and whereas it is causing a clockwise, so negative. So this comes to be 7.13 and this comes to be 14.27. So the total maximum bending moment is equal to 7.14 kilonewton meters. So now the maximum bending moment is occurring at point D, and this is equal to 7.14 kN meters. Now we got the 4 points. So first point, second point, third point, and also fourth point. Now how to join, very important. So here also we got the lines. So there is no UDL, so you have to join with the inclined line. Here the UDL is acting. So over this portion, so you have to join with a parabolic. So these 3 points you have to join with a parabola. So this is the shape of the bending moment diagram. And here, so all the values of the bending moments here is 0, above the 0 value. Therefore, all are, so this is the positive bending moment, and whereas this is called as the, in case of the shear force, we call it negative and also positive. And here also the maximum shear force is acting at point A, that is the left support, that is 5.30 kN, and the maximum bending moment of 7.14 is acting at the point D, that is at a distance of 2.67 meters from the left support. So this is the solution for the problem. So next problem we will continue in the next class. And coming to the summary of the summary part, in this class we have learned about the shear force and bending moment diagrams for the simply supported beam with UDL. And the SF diagram will have the vertical, horizontal, and inclined lines for the simply supported beam, because we got the both of the all of the vertical lines, horizontal lines, and even the inclined lines with UDL. And the BM diagram will have the inclined lines and also curved lines for the simply supported beam with UDL. And the BM will be maximum where the shear force is 0 or changes its sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. And here the shear force diagram, the shear force diagram for simply supported beam will be positive and negative. So for the SS beam, we have the both shear forces positive and also negative, and somewhere the shear force will cross its sign over the at a, some point on the beam, and the bending moment diagram for SS beam will be always positive. That is very important. Next, the bending moment will be maximum at the point where the shear force is 0 or changes the sign. Next, coming to the a small quiz. For simply supported beam, the shear force diagram will be option A positive, option B negative, option C positive and negative. Just now we have discussed it is having both the things positive and also negative. So the option C is the correct answer. Now for a simply separated beam, the BM diagram will be A positive, B negative, and C positive and negative. So for the SS beam, the bending moment diagram is always positive. So the option E is the correct. And for a simply supported beam with bending moment beam, the bending moment will be maximum, where the option A shear force is maximum, option B shear force is minimum, option C the shear force is 0 and changes sign. So the maximum and the minimum SF value does not contribute anything for the maximum value of the bending moment. But the bending moment will be maximum where the shear force is 0 or it changes sign. So therefore the option C is the correct answer. And these are the frequently asked questions in case of the simply supported beam, and by solving these problems or this type of problems we can become master in the shear force and bending moment diagrams for the simply supported beam. So now I am closing the today's class at this point, and we will continue the next problems in the next coming class. Thank you all of you.